So today's lecture, many of you, if not all of you, have seen before. Cathy Wei teaches frequently within our department. I always think we don't take advantage of Cathy, all of her talents, like we should. We have grown to rely on her for a lot of our computer graphics kind of courses. But Cathy's actually a very talented designer. She is studying, I believe, as undergraduate training in China in landscape architecture, and then immigrated to the U.S. and has her master's degree from the Harvard Graduate School of Design. And she is a senior landscape architect at HLA Group in Sacramento. And she is, I think, their go-to person as far as working on some of their projects in China. And so we wanted to, I felt like we'd been sort of very domestic as far as our approach in this class, if not very California-centric. You know, really thinking about some of the future issues. So really was trying to think of who I could get to come in to really think about some more international kind of issues that the profession should be thinking about and addressing. And so I thought of Cathy and having her come in and talk about some of the projects and some of the things that she's been, some of her experiences and what she's worked on. So welcome, Cathy.
Thanks. Thank you, everybody. So I can't say I'm an expert really in international design. First of all, I only worked in China alone, and also there's many business aspects that designers don't get to deal with, but the owner does. So I'll talk of whatever I know and my experiences are. So let's see what I have today. I guess first I want to talk about landscape architecture as a business in general. It is very much a business, and most of you would leave here and hopefully to work in the field of landscape architecture. And as all business, you want to make a product and turn the products into profit. That's what business does. And the same for landscape architecture. Hopefully you produce good enough plans and services and your knowledge that you'll turn into either profit for you or the profit for your office, obviously. So then there's like the business are globalized, obviously, everybody knows that. And why does a business want to go abroad internationally? There's 3 factors I could think of. You want to expand your sales. You want to find more base for your market. Basically, you're expanding a bigger group of people that's potentially going to buy your product. And you're also tapping into resources, either natural resources or human resources. You know, obviously a lot of people have gone abroad to take advantage of the human resource or resources that, you know, not quite available or not as cheap in the U.S. So those are the 2 reasons. And also you want to minimize risk of your business, and you want to broaden the scope and the markets of your business. However, it is sort of this recent downturn. It's global, so like at least unless you went to the moon, it's, you know, the same sort of here. And I know a joke that the Chinese people we work with, they said when American sneezes, everybody had fever. So it's the severity is like worse everywhere else. So those are the 3 things, and those are definitely true for landscape architecture. You know, we want to broaden the market to go abroad, potentially clients overseas. And resource acquisition is less apparent, but our office, you know, definitely are using designers in China. They're Chinese, and they know the market there, and they know the rules and whatnot there, and hopefully you gain some risk, minimizing your risk. So those are sort of an international business. And then what's the same for international business, and what's here is basically you want to have the best you have anywhere. You always want to keep the best quality. You always do a good job. You never know who's watching, who's seeing your work, and so that's universal for any job. And I listed a couple of examples, is basically from, simple sketches, what you do at your desk, to analysis, executions in the field, and renderings. And there's different kinds, all kinds of different ways to present. And you always want to make sure you can, within the resources, do the best you can. And always be like a basic business model. You want to be honest with everybody, with your workers, or your clients. That's all universal. How to do a good business. So that's on the products end. And the trick is, how do you go with the arrows into profit? Those are the tricks, and I don't have the answer, and everybody have their own answers, and you actually find out. So what's different? And there are many things that are different. And I thought this picture is kind of appropriate to show, and it's what I took on my last trip there, so I think it's about a year or so. It's very much had been happening like this in China, that the dramatic overturns and the amount of adjacency that they're in. These mules come in probably in the dark and leave in the dark, and it's illegal for them to on the road, and I don't know how they showed up. They must showed up like before sunrise, and ready to haul away the deconstruction materials. And obviously behind it is what's going to happen at this site. This is very common in China. So there are a few things up there. I don't know if you can read all that. I'm not going to read that for you. A few of them that I feel like is especially difficult for me in the differences. I don't want to talk about the political system because obviously everybody knows it's not our topic today. So there is something tricky in those systems. And language is the biggest differences. If you don't have anybody that speaks Chinese, it's going to be hard to do business with Chinese. And also the cultural differences is very big. In general cultures with people, and also sort of the corporate culture, the business culture. There are different things that we take granted of what we do here, like giving people things. It's considered rude to not give your card with 2 hands to them. So that's like one thing. And also there's many customs in eating that you want to be careful with, and of course you learn as you go along. What else do I think? And Chinese eat a lot. Like, big banquet is a big thing, especially for important meetings with foreigners. And drinking. So hard alcohol drinking is, I can't do that. I don't drink any, and fortunately my boss do. So he takes all the jobs of chucking down those things with the client. So those are culture differences that you might definitely run into. Depends on where you want to do the international business. And so then come down to the business and a lot of